calm before the storm, eh? Welcome back, everybody. This is I Am the Corsair, and I'm spent the last day and a bit trying to figure out what to say and how to crunch it all down to this review of Magician's Apprentice. In summary, I'm going to say for the intro, it was an amazing episode. I was kind of in shock through some bits, and I was kind of like, well, what to do? Should this really have been done? And as a writer myself, I don't know. It just seemed very brave what Stephen Moffat was doing, but it really paid off, all in all. And I'm going to go into everything I thought about Magician's Apprentice, and more things to come. Like we've got, the Doctor going AWOL, Missy's back, Unit's back, Clara, of course, is back, but we find out some pretty shocking things about Clara later on in the episode. Davros is back. Also, this review obviously contains spoilers for those who haven't seen it yet. I would expect that those watching this would have seen it by now, I hope. And I am recording this at night. I'm just sorry, I'm just blown away completely. Let's just get into the review, and welcome back to Doctor Who. It's been a while. Finally we get some new material, and finally we get, to see, well, again, 12's guitar, and much, much more. But anyway, let's get into the review, guys. Good to see you. Let's do this. So where do we begin? Well, it starts off with us all thinking, where the hell are we? We've got a mix of, we've obviously got a war zone, because there's a lot of, people running and screaming and a lot of shooting. But, it seemed strange to me at first. I thought, to begin with, that, there was obviously sci-fi guns, which was obviously Doctor Who, but at first I was confused. As to whether or not, because we had bows and arrows, which was really interesting blend of technologies. And it really blended in with the whole start. The Doctor arrives, and he sees this kid who has just seen somebody who tried to help him get sucked in by what we now know, what we knew later on in the episode is hand mines. Which are kind of creepy. That was very well done, Moffat. Just a shout out to you. Very well done. Having minds that can seek you out and look like hands. Ugh. But anyway, so the Doctor arrives, and he ends up throwing the kid his screwdriver. And we all find out the shocking truth. Spoilers. I'm going to give you all a second, all of you spoiler folks out there, to get out now, because this contains spoilers. So pause the video and walk away. Okay. The child, Davros. Holy crap. In that particular moment, I was sort of sitting there watching it going, right, so the Doctor is faced with two choices. He could either leave him and possibly end up creating the monster that Davros is, as we all know, or he could save him, and Davros could possibly end up the enemy will know anyway. Or he could kill him. There was just so much, of a conundrum there. It was just horrifying. But yeah, it was a nice beginning to an episode. Start with the problem and go back and solve it later. Typical timey-wimey stuff. And then we're introduced to Clara, who is, at school, and she notices the planes have stopped. Wow. Just really, really interesting. Nice change of pace. And now that she's publicly involved with the unit, everything just seems to be falling into place. I mean, she's one of their advisors. So anyway, Missy then comes into the fray. Oh my god. It was inevitable. I mean, Missy can't die. As one of the main antagonists of the show, she cannot die. And who would want her to die? Seriously. And there was a lot, for Clara. I think it was a good sort of situation for Clara. Maybe not for her, but in hindsight, she kind of needed it because Missy kind of stepped in, after Clara having thought she got her world figured out and she was, she conquered it. Because Clara, let's face it, although I like her and a lot of fans do, she is a control freak. And it was nice to see her going, oh, okay. Missy kind of put things into perspective for her in that way. Like when the Doctor ends up on the run, running from his mistake. Yeah, we see a lot of people going, right, especially Missy later on with Clara, like, you don't know him. None of you know him. I do. You don't. But it was really nice to see all the old aliens come back. Like you've got references to the Ood, a few other classic aliens in the Maldivarium. Still, it would have been nice to have seen, Dorian, perhaps, even though he's just a head. But it would be nice to see him somewhere in the background. But anyway, that's just a preference. It was a really nice touch. Then we have the new villain, who is a composite being made of snakes. Creepy. Yeah. And his task obviously is to hunt down the Doctor. Nice. Really nice touch. That adds, at first I thought it had something to do with Amara, because I thought, snakes. But maybe that's for another time. So yeah, he ends up basically as being Davros's messenger boy. And then we have the Sisterhood of Khan. I love them. They were great in, Night of the Doctor. When you've got, they were just really great. I just loved them. They commanded so much power, and they still do, especially in this episode. I mean, this composite alien comes in, and yes, I've forgotten his name. Forgive me. I'm not so good with names like that. Yeah, he comes in, all high and mighty, and they just put him down. Tell him to get off their planet, which is just, man, they really are quite powerful. It was a really nice addition too. I was wondering when we were going to see them again. I mean, they're a classic Who reference as well, because they've been in classic Who as well, so, yeah. More to the point though, the Doctor is dying. Okay, I found that a bit of a cliche. I mean, every every series that Stephen Moffat has done so far has been the Doctor is dying, the Doctor is dying, the Doctor is dying. It seemed a bit of a cliche. I mean, the whole episode was fine, but it's a cliche. He's not going to die, everybody knows it. So that was a bit disappointing, I found. But the whole tension around that was kind of put that in the background a bit, which was kind of good, I thought. Moreover, though, you've got Missy and Clara trying to find him, and they eventually find him having a party, 3-week party. Of course, typical Doctor who's running away from his past and running away from, his mistakes. I think most of us fans can really relate to that in a certain degree. I mean, how many times we all gone, out of guilt. Oh, I really should have done that. And, it was just a really... I just felt sorry for him. It was really well done, and Peter Capaldi kind of pushed all the right buttons in those scenes. And did you know, fun fact about Peter Capaldi, he was actually in a band once. So, he knew how to play guitar. That was no special effects, nothing. He knew how to play guitar. So that was nice. That was a nice little addition. I loved that. But getting back to the story at hand, because I'm getting blown away by the new features and some of the stuff. I think the whole tension between Davros and the Doctor, that was an interesting move. Again, I thought a part of me thought that it would have gone wrong, because it's very, very brave to mess with that big chunk of story, especially an integral big chunk of story like that that's been around Doctor Who for ages. But it really added a new dimension to it. I mean, sure, after he fixed the Time War, the Doctor really had little to be guilty about. So it was nice to add that sort of extra layer on. You think it's over yet. You think your grief is over. Here it is. You basically created the Time War by creating the Daleks because you didn't save Davros. And hence, the Daleks, nearly killed your people and basically wiped out the entire universe and tried to kill hundreds of billions and trillions of people and beings because you didn't save one boy. I think that heavy weight really added an extra dimension to 12. I mean, he's always struggled with the whole idea of, am I a good man, am I a bad man? And I think that will be the way throughout his entire run. I really think he's struggling with his sense of morality in that sense. So it was nice to see. And also Clara, again. Clara was really put out of her element. I think that was kind of inevitable because, let's face it, the Doctor needed someone from his own kind to really understand him. I mean, all those experiences, sure, most of his companions have got close to understanding his a singular personality that he's had. But not all of them. They couldn't possibly comprehend the complexities of all of them. And each new regeneration is an amalgamation of different parts of all of them combined. It's just rearranged. So, it would have been too complex for any other being or person to understand other than a Time Lord or a Time Lady. He needed someone to understand that way, and Missy was the only one who could understand him in that sense. And she had been there right from the very beginning, so there you go. It was yeah, it was nice to see that. I think Clara sort of knew right there and then that, oh, I'm a bit out of my league here. I should probably have, yeah, I'm really out of my league. And yeah, I thought I'd earned the Doctor's trust, and I thought I completely understood him. Apparently not. So yeah, there's a whole complex strand of interactions between the three of them, which is really interesting at the moment. I'll be keen to see what happens in the next part. It'd be really cool. What to say next about it, other than those points? Well, it was nice to see Skaro again. I think that was a nice little addition. And yes, he's stuck with no screwdriver, no TARDIS. Although, let's be honest, I think the TARDIS is not dead, and I think you all know it too. So that kind of detracts from the whole suspense of that. But it's pretty. I'd be interested to see how he gets out of that without his TARDIS, without his screwdriver. I'll be interested to see that. I will be interested. But yeah, let's wait for part 2. I can't wait, and good to see you all. And that was my review of Magician's Apprentice. Amazing episode. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it around about a 4.5 star. That is what Who previous to that in other seasons should have been. That is classic Who come back. That was multi-layered to the hilt. It had so many little references there. Snowballed into, that time frame, which is not much time frame if you think about it, to put all of that in. It was just amazing. It really was. And yeah, it was nice to hear some of the old references to the scarf and all the other Doctors as well. Anyway, catch you later, guys, and I hope to see you next week for the next review of The Witch is Familiar. See you later, guys.